This refresher course is the first program we are concluding as far as this academic year is concerned. Whatever the activities we are doing it in the HRDC, our professor Raju Jain is behind it. He is such a visionary person. He used to help us to move the files very fast. Within fraction of a second, he will clear the files. His positivity and this institution has to grow the way it wants to do. He is very supportive for that matter. He was helping in all respects to organize the program as well as in a way to select the participants from all over the country for this particular program. We are having participants from 7 states, including Assam, Odisha, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and Pondicherry. We have sent invitation to 67 participants. Some of them might thought that this program may be happening in online. Then they declined. Finally, we came to the point 41. There also we were a little hesitant, our maximum strength is 40. Then we found one Tamil faculty submitted the application for chemistry course. He also landed here on that day. Then I asked him, you are having a Tamil admission letter, why you came this? Sir, you have mentioned this is, you have to confirm the participation on 5th July. That's why I thought Pondicherry University is asking people to come and confirm in person. That's why I came. So many people are here, sir. That's why I am also here. They are all here for some other course. Luckily, he was from Chennai. Then he was happily left because the course will be happening from day after tomorrow onwards, 20th of July. Naturally, the participants from various parts of the country choose and come here. Not that just will go to the Pondicherry, get the certificate, come back. Definitely they will not think like that. They wanted to come here to learn something new. They will share their experiences here. In that spirit, we are all welcoming the participants from far away. Normally, this is the 10% participants we can have above the catchment area. Every time we used to get overwhelming response for the courses. Now parallelly the 10th FIP is going on. There are also 6 states participants are from Madhya Pradesh, Assam, West Bengal, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Pondicherry are there. In that spirit, we are having our own reputation to conduct the programs with the help of the concerned departments. We will not ignore the departments. You are witnessing Professor Manimaran. He is a hectically busy person. He will not waste his time. Earlier he was looking after the instrumentation center. What are all the science activities related to the chemistry? He used to be taking part actively. He was with us for the inaugural session as well as he is with us here to give the felicitation for this valedictory session. We invited the Dean, School of Sciences. He thought he will reach here today, but he may not able to reach. He is having some assignment in Delhi. He may not able to join with us. Our esteemed Vice Chancellor is very keen to come and bless us. He will be here with us by 3:30. By the time, without wasting our time, we can go ahead of our programs. Needless to say, the course coordinator, Professor Dokaso. He is one among our faculties. Morning to evening he used to be with us. Before the course, how many days he spent to identify the resource persons? From Delhi to near and here, he has contacted the people, he has chosen the topic. Sometimes he used to confuse himself. Whomever he is asking, they are all giving the same topic to teach. Probably the topic is very closely known to each of them. Then he used to modify the topic. This you are all witnessing. He has taken you for the outdoor experience of learning in this Auroville, as well as for the instrumentation laboratory. These are all some of the inbuilt components as far as these programs are concerned. Not only sitting ideally in the classroom and do that. We agree that we may not be able to provide a lab facility. There is a provision for 10,000 rupees for the lab materials. Not only visiting to the lab, even we can spend money on that. But due to the commutation vehicle issue, we may not be able to take you there. Again, we will not take entire 3 session for lab. You have to be there 1.5 hour session. Then you have to rush and come back here. These are all some of the constraints, But, when you are all suggesting for the next science program, we will try to have this, laboratory work for our activities. Hopefully, you may easily compare what are all the programs you have earlier done, and now you are adding on your program. Some of you, this is the last program to attend. Nevertheless, from our feedback, we will come to know that all the feedbacks are given in a positive note. We are very keen to receive your negative comments so that we can rectify ourselves. Not that we are 100% strong in all our constraints, but we are here to, every course we are learning something new so that we can add on for the next program. These other participants, those who are coming here, let them enjoy these privileges. In that respect, these programs are happening here. We are very thankful for all the participants, the way in which you have participated in the program. We are not strict, we are time bound. We will start the program by 9:30 in the sense you are all before 9:30. That we have to appreciate. Normally, the senior teacher, let them say, they will peep in from there whether the resource person is entered or not. When resource person entering, they will come following and joining the course. But what we will do, we will mark these people for 2 marks, who are all coming after the resource person. Then this time, fortunately, you are all not given that chance of reducing the marks. That's why many of you getting A+ grade. That much you are also very punctual, very time bound. We are not knowing in the next door the course is going on. That much meticulously the course went up very well. The credit goes to the entire faculty of the Department of Chemistry, headed by Professor Balamani Maran. They are all gem of people in this campus. What are all the activities? They will take it in a positive spirit, help people, help teachers, help students. In that respect, for this course also, they helped a lot. With this, I am welcoming one and all present over there, including our assistant professor, Suranjana. She has newly joined and taking care of our activities in this campus, and especially for our media personnel. Today is not the scheduled for them. Even then, they are ready to come and click the pictures and the videograph, because this is very much essential for us. Quarterly newsletter. You may not be able to see your photos in newsletter, but definitely next quarter, whomever is coming for this program, they will see your photographs. But for soft copy, we'll share with you. This in the group, we'll share with you. We didn't know that you are all very good professionals for creating the pages. Who has done it? The group work. We have to appreciate him, no? Yeah, we thought, normally for the reporting it will take 1 week or so to compile all the reports and do that. Very meticulously, yes, briefly done it, the profile of the participants and included in the group. That we brought out a printout to show it to the Vice Chancellor. Let him also release the profile. In that way, these are all add-on exercises on the part of the participants, how they are committed to take care of these courses very effectively. With this, I am welcoming all the participants for this particular program. What are all the shortcomings? Even if you are not able to spell out, while going you can tell to us, we will take care of it positively. If you have anything positive to tell to others, you go and propagate and share with your colleagues. Don't the shortcomings to outside, because they are not the people to rectify it. We only can do that. What are all the shortcomings? You can tell to us, we will take care of it. If anything to say positive, your experience, your positivity, that you can share it to your colleagues so that the fame and name of the institution goes to the national level. Because there are 66 HRDCs are there in the country. Very few only, following the UGC norms and conducting the courses very effectively. In that list, our HRDC also stands because of our esteemed Vice Chancellor. He is very keen on these things. This has to go what the way it has to be conducted. With this, I am welcoming one and all present over here. Now this is the time to listen the feedback of the program. May I request our participant from Assam, Dr. Anupal Barua, to present. Please come.
Good afternoon, everyone. Respected Professor Rajiv Jain, Director, CCR. Professor Panch Ramalingam, Director, UGC HRDC, Pondicherry University. Professor Bala Manimaran, Head Department of Chemistry. Dr. Tokasu, Course Coordinator. Dr. K. Srijana. We are almost approaching the end of this 14th-day refresher course in chemistry. I have come far from Assam to attend this course, and I'd like to take a few moments just to share my experience with you all. First and foremost, I'd like to thank UGC HRDC for selecting me to attend this course. And then coming to the experience of this course, I would like to congratulate and thank both UGC HRDC and the Department of Chemistry and the course coordinator, Dr. Tokasu, for selecting very eminent scientists, academicians from different parts of the country and different institutes of the country, starting from Delhi to IIT Madras and all. And all the sessions were very inspiring, very informative. We gained a lot of knowledge, starting from fundamental chemistry topics to advanced research topics. We learned about many state-of-the-art techniques and learned about cutting-edge research that is happening around the globe. And that was very helpful. We in fact, attending this refresher course, myself, I can speak for myself, is that I have many ideas to work going back in my research laboratory, in my department. And with many of the fellow participants, we have talked about future collaborations also, which will be very helpful for us if it becomes fruitful in future. That is one. And coming to the experience here, as I said earlier also, the people are very warm here, very friendly and very humble. and I liked that very much. Participants, I cannot say, enough for them. They were very, very friendly. Our director, Panchramalingam sir, when we reached here on third night at 8:30 or 9, we reached here, and we also didn't inform properly that we are reaching on 2 days before, and that too at night. Still, when we called him that, okay, we are here already, sir somehow managed the room for us, and we could comfortably stay here without going to any hotel or anything like that. So thank you, sir. Thank you very much. You have been very supportive, very kind throughout the 14 days course. Dr. Tokasu, sir, everyone will agree, he is the most probably friendliest, course coordinator that we have experienced in all our refresher course and orientation programs, and we are very thankful, sir, for your cooperation with us. Coming to the facilities that were provided, all were very good. The whole campus, Pondicherry University campus, coming from a state university, I could see that it's a huge campus. It was the infrastructure is also quite good. All the rooms were also good, with all AC facilities and all. Those were there. Yes, definitely we know from our experiences from university background, there are a lot of constraints to maintain all those things. Those things are definitely there, but yes, the infrastructure was quite impressive actually. I thank you all for that. Probably the network connection can be improved. That is the only thing that I could point out here, but otherwise every experience here, the infrastructure wise, it was really very good. And I also like to thank the UGC HRDC and Tokasu sir for arranging all the trips to Oroville, trips to chemistry department, and the experience in the central instrumentation facility. All those were enriching experience, and we thank all the UGC HRDC and chemistry department people for that. Also, the personal experience is also very good here. We have been to all around Pondicherry University, the cultural program that all participants, we enjoyed it very much. So all in all, it was a very good experience. Overall, we had an unforgettable experience for life. We are taking back lots of ideas along with many beautiful memories back home with us. Thank you. Thank you for the experience.
Thank you very much. May I request Ma'am Dr. M. Alu Sisubia to give the feedback.
Good afternoon, one and all. There is time for everything. A time to be born, a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up what is planted. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to keep silence and a time to speak. God has made everything beautiful in its season. Yes, in a time we all met and it is time to say goodbye. But whether we are from north or south, east or west, the Pondicherry University and the Honorable and Vibrant Vice Chancellor sir and most respected and beloved UGC HRDC Director, Professor Dr. Panchramalingam sir, a gentle, golden-hearted, soft-spoken Professor Tokasu sir, and dear Dr. Srujana at HRDC, and all the staffs and support staffs will remain evergreen in our minds and shine in our hearts for their exemplary works, services, care, and meticulousness. The motto of Pondicherry University, Vers la Lumiere, the light has been carried by each one of them in the HRDC office, in the Department of Chemistry, and every other person we met in the campus. The luminescence is unwavering without fluttering at all times, no matter it is sunny or windy. It is not an exaggeration, and all our hearts would beat as one if I state that we begin every day of our session ever fresh and deeply stirred and motivated by our dear Director Sir, with his punctuality, keenness for perfection, and watchfulness for amid minute details. As he is highly systematic and unwaveringly disciplined, exemplary, and the propelling force behind every session. Professor Tokasu sir, for his careful choice of a resource persons, and in spite of all the difficulties, he made things possible to occur in a very pleasant manner with his ever shining smile on his face. Sir, each one of us here under the umbrella of this program have several takeaway points to our homes. We have newly learnt, relearnt, and unlearnt many things. It's not only that the science was a refresh in our minds within the classroom, but the cultural evening and the tour around the Puduvai were additional feast and evergreen refreshments to our minds and hearts. A globe is round. Yes, as we have met here, our respected models and dearly friends whom we never met before in our lifetime anywhere else, and encountered a few of our beloved friends close to our souls after several years. I wish and pray that we get a chance and blessing to see each other in the years to come. ASC, that is Academic Staff College, as I feel that it is a home away from home. Dear Director Sir, the ambience, the garden with the flower spreading fragrances around, the session halls under maintenance, and the entire ASC maintenance, is everything is appreciated, enjoyed, and gratefully will be remembered by all of us. We wish well and all the happiness, glory, and the graceful blessings for the Pondicherry University, Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, our Director Sir, Dr. Srujana, and our specially beloved course coordinator, Professor Tokasu Sir, at all walks of their life. Let UGC HRDC EPU go from glory to glory in the years to come and shine like the sun. And a special thanks to Professor Raju Jain Sir, the Director OSD, CCR Puduvai University. Professor Balamanimaran Sir, Head Department of Chemistry, will remain in our minds ever shining too. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. How difficult, among the participants acting as a representative in this group. May I request Dr. Vijesh to share his experience.
This is my fifth refresher course. Just I can compare the other four and with this one. In that, two were offline and two were online. So it is totally different from other refresher courses. Actually, I chosen this place with a reason only. So we can learn a lot of things and a lot of facilities, instrumental facilities, etc. Because my colleagues, my friends, they attended the refresher course earlier in Pondicherry. So with that reason only we applied. But I think unfortunately my applications were not received here, but later we requested and they considered. So for that reason we are highly thankful to the HRDC people, especially the director and the course coordinator. And regarding all the sessions with your corporation only, so we could finish on time. All the four sessions and all the proceedings I think we could complete as per their directions, director's direction, and they arranged the Oroville trip. That also with the payment they only they have done, I think so. So for that also we are thankful to the director. And we had a cultural program, so more than 1.5 hours we enjoyed. Rather than gaining the scientific knowledge, we cooled a little bit, was 1.5 hours. So for that reason, we are thankful to you, because for giving the auditorium or the room for that purpose. Everyone participated well. And again, coordinator, so he was supportive for each and everything, or even for personal matter also. He was very supportive and he was guiding us like anything. And special thanks to the HOD, Balamanivaran sir, because one day we simply visited that campus. So he took us all the instruments. He spent more than 40-45 minutes with us. Only we were 4 or 5. Even then he could explain all the instruments. He taken us to all the labs, etc. And even I visited the nanoscience lab. I know a person earlier, he was a resource person in my university. So with that, I was keeping contact last 5-6 years. So even I visited his lab, he explained each and everything. So in that reason, I think I could utilize all the resources here. So once again, Srujana ma'am, so immediately they rectify all the problems. So they have opened the library, computer section, everything. All the facilities they have provided. So from a representative from the participants, if I have done unknowingly any mistakes, sorry for our, so I think once again we are thankful to you. So hoping the Pondicherry name has to go everywhere. Okay, thank you.
Our Vice Chancellor is yet to come, but he will be coming, so I honor him. Our respected dignitaries on the dais, Director, CCR Pondicherry University, Professor Rajiv Jain, Director of HRDC, Professor Panchramalingam, and Professor Balamani Maran, HOD, Department of Chemistry, Pondicherry University, Dr. Srujana, Assistant Professor, UGC HRD, Pondicherry University, all my colleagues and friends, participants present here. I stand here to give a very brief report of our refresher course here, and the detailed report will be submitted to the UGC HRD. So it will be a very brief one. 34 participants joined, and as I mentioned on the inauguration day, the goal of this program is to ensure that the skills learned during the initial training are not lost due to lack of use. But thus, this program provided an opportunity for the participants to learn about changes that have taken place in chemistry so that they stay updated. And I believe that you all have been updated and well equipped to discharge your duties as a teacher as well as a researcher. One of the objectives of refresher course was to provide a platform for the participants to exchange knowledge and experience with their peers and to mutually learn from each other. Therefore, the participants were encouraged to do collaborative research works for mutual growth. And hence, this course has further widened your knowledge, I believe, and scope to pursue research studies in the future, as some of you have already mentioned, that you are even planning to do a collaborative work. And I believe that the objective of this refresher course is successful. So in the concluding week of the program, the participants were assessed on the basis of multiple choice objective test and also taking into the account other evaluation already done, and accordingly grades were awarded. So you'll be wondering what kind of assessments were done. A little bit of assessment is already explained to you by the director. The assessment was carried out in the form of seminar, project, daily report, test through multiple choice question, micro teaching, and holistic. Accordingly, 24 participants were awarded the grade of A+, and 10 participants were awarded the grade of A. No one went down below A. So you all have done very well. Yeah. So a very big congratulations. You all excelled. So that's really very good. You all are great teachers, I believe. That's why you have done so well. And that will be a very good example for your students. I believe the students that you produce will be a great teacher and great researchers in the future. Before I step down, I want to thank the Vice Chancellor, the Director, HRDC, and HOD, Department of Chemistry, for giving me the opportunity to be the coordinator of this refresher course. And I thank all the participants and the staffs of the HRDC for being so cooperative and helpful. I thank each and every one of you.
Thank you very much. Now may I request our Professor Bala Manimaran to felicitate this occasion.
Honorable Vice Chancellor, Director OSD, Director of HRDC, and my colleague Professor Tokasu, and then the Academic Staff College HRDC faculty, Dr. Sujana, participants of this refresher course. It's my pleasure to give the felicitation on the occasion of this valedictory function. In this refresher course, I'm very well organized, and then our coordinator has given a variety of lectures. I remember that maybe around 30 lectures you must have attended from during this past 2 weeks. And then the logistic support given by this HRDC, again I was very satisfied and then happy about their support. And then support extended by our Vice Chancellor, and then the administration is again appreciated so much, so that we Department of Chemistry faculties could come out with a good program of giving the refresher course for these participants. So as you attended nearly 30 lectures, then you must have got some of the ideas of what kind of basic research people can do in your institute, college, or university. And also you have visited our central instrumentation facility. Then there are certain instruments which will be useful for you for your kind of research. Some of the faculty, they visited even chemistry department, and then they have seen their facilities. So take all these messages, and at the same time plan your own work. Already you are doing something, but in addition to that, you plan the work continuing this one. So the new NEP, the value added education, is very important. And then we need to create the students at the end ethically, morally strong and employable persons. So for that, the vocational training is very important. So for as a chemistry, what we can do is our practicals should be very strong. So you can design many of the practical experiments apart from the university prescribed experiments. So you can design your own experiments. For example, soxolate experiment for extracting anything. That's a skill. The steam distillation, that's a skill. Like that, one can develop our own, for example, soap manufacturing, it's a skill. Anything which is useful for the people, I mean that such kind of experiments one has to design, and then we can practice that in our practicals. And then the students, when they go out, they go with the skill. Apart from they get the instrumentation training from the regular analytical, practical and instrumentation practicals. And the new education policy also implements that the students, apart from learning the chemistry or physics or science or arts, they should be ethically strong. The ethical value, the moral value one has to inculcate. As a teacher, we cannot teach the ethical value to them. One has to be practiced. When we show them, they will follow us. When we say them, be honest, be ethical, they will not be. But when we are practicing in the class, when you are practicing in the lab, when you are practicing the ethical value in the getting the data and then interpreting the data, so when you show this ethical value to them, so they will follow all these things. So I tell my students that after the MSc or PhD, that when we go out from here, wherever you go there, you maintain the honestness. The honestness is the one which will take you anywhere. If you are very honest, you will be very courageous. So the courage one has to develop in, then the base should be, we should be very honest. So these are all things we cannot teach. We can only practice, and then so that the students will follow. So as a teachers, you will be practicing apart from the research and other things. So please take the message of the NEP recommended points, and then continue those things. And then I hope you enjoyed this 2 weeks of refresher course and refreshed your mind in the chemical and chemical science. And then I wish you, all of you, to have your successful teaching and research career. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Before the presidential address by our Professor Rajiv Jain, we wish to honor our esteemed Vice Chancellor with a shawl. May I request our esteemed Director to honor.
Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Gurmeet Singh, Director of HRDC, Pondicherry University, Professor Panchramlingam, Professor Bala Maran, Professor and Head, Department of Chemistry, Dr. Tokasu, Course Coordinator, Dr. Sajjana, and dear participants. It is my pleasure to be among you, and I remember that time was when I used to deliver lectures in different refresher courses. And my favorite topics used to be was spectrochemical methods of chemical analysis, electrochemical techniques, fundamentals and applications, principles and applications of chromatographic techniques. And in electrochemical techniques, I used to start from dropping mercury electrode, discovered by Professor Hirovisky in 1922, for he was awarded Nobel Prize in 1959. Then up to modern techniques, stripping voltammetry, anodic stripping voltammetry, cathodic stripping voltammetry, and all electrochemical techniques I used to cover in 3 lectures. So I am happy that you have refreshed your knowledge by attending 30 lectures. 30 lectures are almost, it has covered the most important part of the chemistry. But I will discuss something beside the refreshing of the knowledge, something which can be taken up by you, keeping in view the National Education Policy 2020. As there is an option after each year in a 5-year integrated course, there is an option after first year that a student can leave the course, a certificate can be given. So after first year, he should be trained in such a way that he could get some opportunity in the market. Because these are the days of startups and skill development. As our Prime Minister says, that update the skill development and updation of the skill. So after chemistry has maximum opportunities for this type of work, that after each year, student may opt for exit, and when he has earned sufficient amount of money, then again can join, again can enter the multiple exit and multiple entry, again can enter the course. For example, if after first year, if we take up the course in extraction of aromatic oils, aromatic oils are in great demand. If he has an expertise and not so much things are required, only a simple soxylate is required, and he can be expert in extracting the aromatic oils. And another one, you can divide the class into 4 or 5 parts, and another one can be an expert in marketing the aromatic oils in first year itself. If we can extract the aromatic oils, there is a great market for their sales. That's very important. Like similarly, in second year, one may opt for management of chemicals or marketing of chemicals, sales of chemicals, or different types of, hundreds of types of fields are available in chemistry if one opts for exit options. Another field is the synthesis of chemicals which are import substitutes. Hundreds of chemicals are available which are not synthesized in our country. They are very costly. If one has expertise of synthesizing one of these chemicals, then he has sufficient capacity for starting a startup. So starting from first year to fifth year, number of opportunities are there. We can prepare students accordingly. Another thing, after final, one can have an expertise to establish his own lab, chemical analysis lab, which has certification from ISO and different types of certification, and can provide, give analysis to the industry, which is required for each industry to give the certification. Like that, various opportunities are there. Then another field, very good field is that, which is popular these days, magic of chemistry. There are around 1,000 magics which you can show to which our different types of people show to stop superstitions also, and also explaining the chemical reaction taking place. For example, when one person in a village goes to the well, deep down to the well, and immediately he dies. People think that there is some ghost in the well. You can explain it on the basis of chemistry that there is no ghost, but some chemical reaction has taken place. There is a concentration of carbon monoxide and methane there. That is why one cannot respire there, and immediately he dies. So on that basis, in each aspect, each thing around you is chemistry, and you are fortunate, we are all fortunate to have a life in chemistry. This is a subject for which if one involves in that, he gets involved, engrossed in them and enjoys it. Magics are there, different types of reactions are there. Every part, whatever you see around you is chemistry, and can be explained by different types of chemical reactions. Particularly, keeping in view the national education policy, the subject chemistry has much more importance. And I am thankful to the organizers, particularly Professor Pancharamalingam, for inviting me here and giving an opportunity to interact with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your enlightening presidential address. Now this is the time to receive the blessings from our esteemed Vice Chancellor. You may be enjoying the campus for the past 2 weeks. What are all the positivity you can see, it is because of him. For 6 years, you may be seeing the turbulence in this campus. When he entered this campus, he made the smiling spaces of all the students and teachers. He used to have the mantra, you may not know how strict he is, how liberal he is. He is like a giant, No, he is simply, if you are saying the attendance is at 9 o'clock, he just wanted to verify whether the 9 o'clock the classes are happening or not. He visited the place, whether the class is going on. The teacher was not there. But the message, which is very keen on the timetable. You have to be on time. That's why, for the past 5 years, we are organizing the chemistry as the first refresher for the HRDC is concerned. Why? Because the participants are having that enthusiasm to attend the course. The message spreads across the country. That's why we are receiving participants from Assam, Kerala, Karnataka, Maharashtra. 7 states are representing here. I can add on because he is hectically busy. Because of the chemistry, I could not able to meet him for the past 3 days. We approached him. Then I discussed with our director culture. This is also a little bit busy. So many activities. We can check at the last minute if he is available. We'll invite him. He was also there. Morning we got the consent because he comes and blesses. That will have the vibration for 1 year or years to come. That is the positivity is transferring to each and every one of us in this campus and other than this, academic world.
Well, friends, very good afternoon to you. My colleague, Professor Rajiv Jain, who is my colleague here and who is a fellow colleague in the subject as well. We are both electrochemists. That's what he was telling when he was giving his talk. Director of the center, Professor Panchramalingam, head of the department, Professor Balamarimaram, and the course coordinator, Professor Toku Su, and Dr. Srijana, who is from this center. Whenever I get time and whenever I am invited here, I make it a point to be around. This one was very special because it was a chemistry course, so I had to be around. And otherwise, whenever there is any course which HRDC conducts, I make it a point to be there during the inauguration and for the valedictory also. Reason for this is that I may give any number of advertisements here and there that our university is this, it is that, it has a wonderful campus, whatever you may say. In English we say whatever extent of drum beating we do, we beat our own drums day in and day out. It won't serve that much which people who come here for this course would do. You come here, stay here for a certain period of time, travel around, interact with all of you, and you pick up the best practices. That is good enough message for us, because when you move from here to your respective places, that's where you tell them how good is the campus, how good is the atmosphere, how serious are the students, how seriously the course is conducted. You will find in certain HRD courses where resource person doesn't reach and the people would wait and one would come towards the fair 10 minutes and would talk for a few minutes and they'll say that this talk is as good as done. We will not do that. You will find here very meticulously everything is planned. And I asked for the schedule, I was going through that. A variety of topics have been covered. I have always been maintaining that the purpose of such a course is not to teach you chemistry. You are all well versed. You have been teaching for a fairly long length of time. You are aware of what is on. The purpose of a course like this is to give you a pilot view of what is on in our subject. What is the latest that is being carried out in various areas, be it organic or bioinorganic or nanotechnology, green energies, electrochemical synthesis, electrochemical techniques, whatever area you may pick up, you will be able to know from such courses that what is on in terms of the latest that is being carried out throughout the world. That is the purpose. Now, once you come to know about it, wherever you are, you will get an urge to know or to read more about it. Otherwise, teaching your classes and coming back is a very monotonous job. So you get an urge to read more about it, and when you read more about it, you develop a kind of a liking or a habit that yes, if this could be done there, probably we can also be doing it here. And there are, let me tell you, there are many areas, many subjects, many research areas which one can very conveniently and easily pursue in wherever you are coming from. It is not a must that you have to have very advanced, high-level, high-ended equipment. With very basic things also, you can probably carry out very interesting research work. Now also, if I tell you that you can synthesize nanoparticles and you can regulate the size by following a reverse micellar technique, when I tell you that this is something which requires nothing, it is basically glass equipment that you have in your lab, and by calculating certain oil and water proportion, you can prepare nanoparticles and regulate the size also. Of course, exact size measurement you will require certain techniques, but with this you can prepare, and when you know that this is the size, with change in size, what are the changes in property, you can do it in the wet lab, normal wet lab that we have in our chemistry departments. So such things can be demonstrated, can be done. How would you do it? Provided you read something about what is a micellar substance, what is a reverse micelle, how do we do it, water and oil mixture, how will we make it miscible? Obviously when you add some surfactants, they'll become miscible. So there is nothing great needed. All you require is some boiling tubes and some reagents, that's about it. But how would you do it when you get some desire to read about it? And you will get that when you listen to somebody doing some work in organic synthesis or whatever area you come from. That is what is the importance of this. That is one, that you come to know about the latest in the subject. Apart from that, the best that you learn or you gain out of these courses is when you are staying together for about 2 weeks, you meet in the evening, you discuss during lectures that what way chemistry is being taught, what are the practices being followed in your university. The best practices that you learn by discussing with one another, this is what, when you come to know, you try to adapt this in your own places, which otherwise probably, in my own opinion, my personal opinion, you might not have done it. So this is one of the biggest advantages that one can get out of these courses. Then the other most important part, which I have rarely mentioned, when you sit here and listen to the talk for about 90 minutes, it enables you to judge your own capability, your own personality, your own focus, whether you can listen to somebody with absolute focus for 90 minutes or not. You can listen to your spouses, let me tell you, for any length of time. Whether you like it or not, you still listen to them. But here, whether you can really listen to a lecture with rapt attention or not is a test of your own focus, is a test of your own understanding, is a test of your own personality. You would have seen that a person listens to a talk and would reproduce verbatim as it is. A person who reads a page will tell you everything about what is there. But then on the other side, there will be a person who would listen to a talk, will not be able to tell you about, to the extent of 10% that what was there in the talk. Because when the talk is on, your mind is somewhere else. If you listen to, or if you talk about two examples, one is that of, what was her name? Nirmala Devi, that great mathematician who used to calculate. Shakuntala Devi. I wanted to know whether you remember it or not. Shakuntala Devi is one. You give any figure, she'll give you an answer. Now, do you think that she had a computer imbibed in her mind? No. When somebody interviewed, she said from the first class onwards, her maternal granduncle used to tell, develop focus. And he used to tell various techniques of how focus is to be developed. And a time came that she was so focused. I don't know how many of you have read about her biography. A time came when she was so focused that once somebody gave log tables. I hope you remember what log tables are. Now you are doing all with the other thing. But we used to do it with log tables. Somebody showed and she looked at it for a good 2 minutes and then she said, I don't need it, I remember what is it. Entire log tables by looking at it. She had a photographic memory. Other person whom I like to tell our friends is about a person called Bhagwan Rajneesh. Controversial person. He had built a fortune in a state in US called Oregon. He had at one time 54 Rolls Royces. And he came, when I tell you, he came from a small town and then moved to a university in Jabalpur. And in Jabalpur he did his MA in philosophy. And he studied and specialized in comparative religious philosophy of various religions. And all that he did in Hindi medium, let me tell you. If you would talk to, or if you listen to some of his talks, very few are there, because those days we didn't have these facilities. He would not be able to speak 3 sentences without breaking. Hindi is what he would talk about, but then subsequently he had a great sense of focus. He would read anything and would reproduce in Hindi. Then he said, well, if he can speak English, I can also do it. First time when he went to Cambridge for a talk, people laughed that, well, you are not able to converse in this, what is it? He said, okay, give me 3 days time, I'll come back. And same lecture in English he delivered after 3 days. It was a fantastic language that he used, and people sitting there were shocked. How could you be doing this? So that's the power of focus, which all of you can develop. If you have attended to these lectures, that focus will enable you to reach any milestone. That is what he used to do. And let me also tell you, he died very young. I'm not his follower, incidentally. Don't take it that way. But some of his good qualities that he had is what I admire. He had written religious discourses on practically everything, every religion, be it Jainism, Sikhism, Islam, Christianity, or some of the unknown religions, Zoroastrianism. He has written a commentary on every religion. And of course, he was a very independent-minded person. He would put something which used to be controversial, but that's the way a philosopher should act. Our Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan was of that kind. So he did. In my own religion, there is a prayer we do every morning, and he has written a commentary of that. The best commentary ever I have read is by Bhagwan Rajneesh. His name was Rajneesh. His actual name was something else. So he had such a tremendous remembrance. You tell him and he will remember everything. That's about it. Third example I'll give you. I know I'm taking time, but then it is worth listening to. That is of Lala Hardyal. I don't know how many of you have heard his name. Lala Hardyal was one of our freedom fighters. And, well, if you go around, you'll find there are many libraries in our country, more than about 100 libraries, which are named as Lala Hardyal libraries. They are public libraries. He had such a tremendous power that once he would read everything, that's about it. So he was imprisoned and he was being sent to England. The Britishers decided that this fellow is too intelligent and he will spoil our ruling, and we better send him to England and do slow poisoning so that he dies slowly. And he was being taken in a ship. So there was a very famous book the captain of that ship gave. He said, you should read and learn from it. He says, what learning I'll know from you people? But he said, still you read it. That was a book of about 400 pages. He stood on the deck and started reading that book. Around 10 o'clock, captain saw him reading, and around 4 o'clock he finished the entire book. After that, he looked at it and captain was watching. He threw that book in sea. And that Britisher felt so insulted. He says, such a remarkable book, you have thrown it? He says, what do you want to know? I can tell you what is there in that book. I don't want to keep this book, but it is written by somebody who doesn't toe our line. He's different from our philosophy. I don't want to keep it, I've thrown it. What is it that you want to know? Then that Britisher thought he might not have, he's just read it, what will he tell me? He said, how many chapters? How many pages? Who wrote it? Then he said, this many chapters, this is it, this chapter starts from this page to this page, this is authored by so-and-so, and he gave a narration of that book. That Britisher was shocked. Full description he gave, and he spoke to him for about 45 minutes. And that fellow was just listening to him with rapt silence. This is the focus. It doesn't come out of this, it is developed. And there are people who have developed, there are umpty numbers who have done it. Then when Lala Hardyal reached England, he was sitting in a park and two Chinese were conversing. What were they conversing? He didn't know. He never knew Chinese. They were talking about a murderer, what way the murder was done. And they were then arrested by police. And Lala Hardyal was there on the scene. They said, you were there, did you hear anything? He said, yes, I heard a lot. They talked about 15 minutes. What is it that they talked? He said they were talking in Chinese. I do not know, but I will repeat what they said. You know, this is the remarkable power. So whatever they spoke in Chinese, he just uttered that same thing, you know, and they interpreted, the entire case was sorted out. This is what a brilliant fellow. So Britisher did slow poisoning to him through polonium, which is done, and he was killed eventually there. So that's the way our society suffered. But then our society cannot be killed by killing one man. If one went, then there 1,000 others came. So we have people who have this kind of a resilience to do very well. And if you read about the history of science, if you read about the greats of Indian science, we have too many, and that you will be able to know and read once you develop a habit of reading, which is a dying habit. So I am very happy that you have come here to attend this course. This must have been a very useful one for all of you. The best part of this place where you stay is that entire Pondicherry city is very, very positive city. Wherever, I don't know, I was going through the list. People have come from Karnataka, Kerala, Assam, Odisha. You would have seen, wherever you have come from, this city, the moment you enter, some kind of a positivity sets in. You don't feel tired, and some kind of a spiritualism gets into you. You start thinking of what good you can do, and you start feeling very rejuvenated, as if somebody has given you an injection of proteins and you're bubbling with energy. These are the beauties of this place, which I'm sure you would have enjoyed. And during your discussions, you would have picked up some good practices. I am delighted you are here. And through your mouth, you will be our brand ambassadors. That Pondicherry campus is such a lush green campus. That is what we want. And if there has been any problem, any shortcoming, we will ensure that that is attended to during the next course. So I wish you all the very best, and hope you will carry your pleasant memories back home, and these memories would help you in attaining some of the best practices that you wish for. Thank you so very much, and God bless you.